Hello everyone and welcome to Games. So today's going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm actually going to review the Hyperkin Retron top loader. For those of you that don't know, this is a third-party Nintendo knockoff that plays original Nintendo NES games. I bought this mostly because I wanted to reduce the wear and tear on my original Nintendo because it is getting older, obviously, and I've spent some good amount of time refurbishing it. There it is, actually, right down there. So I bought this Hyperkin to play games on it. Also to put the Hyperkin in the bedroom, too, so I could play them in there without moving the Nintendo. And just reduce the overall wear and tear on my original Nintendo, because as those get older and older, obviously they're going to need more and more parts replaced. I've already done a substantial amount of work on mine, so I really would rather, just stick to it to games where I have to. But anyways, yes, on with the review. So the unit cost me $18.50 with free shipping from eBay, which I thought was a phenomenal deal. This particular Retron only plays original Nintendo games, and that's fine because that's the only older physical console that I still held on to. All the rest, truly, I just emulate. I wanted to hold on to the Nintendo because it's what I grew up with, what really got me into gaming first. And when I have a kid, I'd love for them to experience that too. So I've hung on to most of that stuff. This is the box that it comes in. Nifty little box design. The negative point you always see about these is the controls. The controllers that it comes with, I'll say I'm not overly impressed. They feel very cheap. The D-pad, instead of resting on top of a rubber mushy thing like the NES controls, I don't know if I can get this on camera, but it has this like plastic stick underneath the D-pad, and it rests on that stick. And it's very cheap plastic, so I could see it breaking soon. In fact, the left pushing side of the joypad there is already wearing down quite a bit. But on its plus sides, it does have a slow button. It has turbo buttons, so that's nice. I like the whole red and white color theme, so that's kind of cool. So there is that, but I'm not a big fan of the controllers it comes with. Thankfully, it is fully compatible with your old Nintendo controllers, which I highly recommend you use those instead. So, as far as compatibility, because this is another thing people ask about with these knockoff consoles, let's take a look, shall we? So I pulled out 7 random NES games out of my collection, some more common, some more obscure, and we're going to see how they all play on the Retron, or whether they play at all, and what the quality looks like. Forgive the camera quality. I know I need to get a new camera and mic for my channel so bad. I am working on that. But here we go. First game up, Dr. X Mario. Big fan of this one. Loved this as a kid. So let's see how this works in the Retron, shall we? By the way, it is very hard to push cartridges into this Retron. You need to basically push down on the left side first, and then the right side, and kind of rock the cartridge in. If you try to push straight down, you'll probably bend the pins. The overall feel of the console itself is very cheap, like it's from very, very, very cheap Happy Meal toy plastic. So not overall impressed with the build quality, but for $18.50, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Alright, well, Dr. X Mario seems to work. Music seems to work fine. I actually just played this on my original Nintendo earlier after I had to refurbish the hell out of the game because of a crappy eBay seller. But anyways, the only thing I can notice is a little bit off. The color tint is the ever so tiniest bit off. Not majorly, but just a tiny bit. It's there. But yeah, other than that, it seems to work fine. Moves right along. Sound works fine. I'd say that one's compatible. So let's try the next game. NFL football. Oh god, LJN, the rainbow of shit. Any game that company ever put out always sucked, but either way, let's give it a shot and see how it runs. Well, music seems to be working fine. Visuals work fine. I'd say that one counts as a definite compatibility. So that one works. 2 for 2. Very difficult to get the games out also, by the way. So I'm a little bit concerned about the durability of the pins over the course of time. Next game up, Air Fortress. This was definitely a game I liked back in the day, although not all that popular, but you kind of flew around in a spaceship, collected energy and bombs, and then you went inside and you had like a Metroid-style level to play through at the end of each level. Well, looks like this one works too. Music's good, visual looks good. The only thing I can say I notice is it almost tries to over-sharpen the picture a bit, making it look a little bit more pixelated than it usually is. Keep in mind, this is on my HD TV, not my old TV, so it's not going to look the best anyways due to that fact. But I can notice a little bit of a difference, but nothing drastic. Other than that, game seems to run fine, sounds fine, colors are fine. So I'd say that one works. So, not bad, 3 for 3. Next up, King's Knight. One of Square's earlier games. This was definitely a unique title. You think of Square, you think of RPGs. This is like if you took Dragon Warrior style graphics and characters and turned it into a vertical facing shooter in an RPG kind of world. It's very strange, wasn't well reviewed. The difficulty ramps up way too quickly, and it's insanely difficult. Right, orange screen of non-compatibility with this one. So, unfortunately, I think this one's not compatible. Try it one more time. Oh no, here it goes. Nope. Just the title screen. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Apparently this one is compatible, it's just a little difficult to get it to run. As you say, this one works on first try of my original Nintendo without fail, so I'm not sure why it took so many times to get it to work on this. I actually tried about 6 times earlier and it didn't work for all 6 times, so I assumed it was going to be non-compatible. But yeah, there's a bit more of an obscure Square game for you, but it works. So, not bad. 4 for 4. A little bit of difficulty on that one, but it worked. Knight Rider. Oh, this game sucked. Not that I'm surprised. TV movie games usually do, but either way. Well, this one looks like it's going to work just fine too. The sound effects in this game are so bad. The graphics aren't exactly great either. I always remember running out of gas in this every other minute too. It was really annoying. But yeah, it works fine. Screens, no glitching. Colors are right on. Not bad. 5 for 5. God, these games are so difficult to get out. Actually, gotta look inside to make sure the pins didn't bend. No, they didn't, but man, oh man. It's really tough to get in and out of that. It really makes me worry about the durability of the pins in that over time. Rockin' Ball. This was kind of a weird one. But let's see. I don't remember what half of these damn games do. So let's just go ahead and do watch mode. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a big pinball game, like a versus pinball game, pretty much. So I think foosball, but with pinball. But graphics are right on, but the music is almost missing a tone in this one. Not drastically so, but just seems a tiny bit different. But yeah, that game works. Last but not least, definitely one of the ones I remember Enix of pretty fondly. Dragon Warrior. An orange screen. Try reseating it, because I mean, that did happen with King's Knight also. And again, you gotta push down like on the left, the right. It's the second time. I know this game works because I just tried it earlier in my original Nintendo. Well, we'll try reseating it one last time. Yeah, now it's getting some kind of weird sound and a black screen. So we got something out of there. And an orange screen. So yeah, I would have to say that Dragon Warrior rates as non-compatible. Just for the heck of it, we will try the game in the original Nintendo just to verify that there is nothing wrong with the game. Oh, well, maybe that does need a little bit of cleaning. Let's see. No, there it goes. So it works on the original NES, so I would have to say Dragon Warrior, not compatible. Not sure what that is. Maybe it's the battery backup system within the game. But still, out of 7 randomly picked games, it worked fine with 6. So it's not bad for a cheap $18.50 total cost knockoff console. Do bear in mind, like I said, the build quality is not the best. It's nothing compared to the original Nintendo by any stretch of the imagination. The controllers suck. You are most definitely going to have to buy original Nintendo controllers if you want to play games worth a damn. Because the ones that it come with, I'll hang on to them, but I doubt I'll ever use them. I mean, they're just not that great. But yeah, overall rating out of 100, I would probably give the Hyperkin Retron 1 about 80 out of 100. It seems to be compatible with most games. The ones it's compatible with, the music and the audio work fairly well. The build quality definitely could use some improvement, but for the price, it's adequate. The controllers are junk. Props for putting turbo on them in a slow motion, But that said, the build quality is very questionable, and I don't see them lasting longer than a few months under normal usage. It'll be a good backup console to my original NES to reduce the wear and tear on it a little bit. I would recommend it to people for the price, definitely, if you want to reduce the wear and tear on your original Nintendo. I wouldn't hesitate if you can find it at that price. Shouldn't be that hard. I found a ton of them at eBay at $18.50 with free shipping. So give it a shot. I mean, a lot of the other Retron consoles get a lot of flack, like the Retron 5, which is really highly priced and doesn't seem to work that well. But this one, for what it does, which is just play original NES games, definitely gets the Liquid Evil beer of approval. It seems to work just fine, and for the price, you can't go wrong. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this trip down retro gaming lane. What are some of your favorite NES titles? Out of curiosity, what did you play the most growing up? Do you own one of these? If you don't own one of these, will you consider buying one, or are you definitely planning to purchase one in the near future? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching Liquid Evil Gaming. Never game sober.